You know that exact feeling. You walk away from a casual conversation and instantly your brain starts fighting itself. Were they actually flirting, or are you just misreading the situation again? Most guys get stuck in this loop because they are looking for the wrong things. They expect massive confessions, clear flirting, and overt attention. But human attraction rarely works like that. It operates through small biological mechanisms that leak out in subconscious behaviors long before anyone actually says a word. This chart illustrates a concept we can call the proximity progression. It maps physical distance on the y-axis against psychological intensity on the x-axis, showing how subtle behavioral cues physically and emotionally close the gap between two people over time. We can track this progression through 7 specific behavioral shifts, including one final indicator that takes place when you aren't even in the room. Learning to identify these signals allows you to observe the internal mechanics of an interaction as they unfold in real time. The progression usually begins with visual contact, specifically the extra second rule. When someone looks at you, holds eye contact for a beat longer than normal, and then looks away, they are actively building emotional tension. But the true indicator here is the second glance. Looking away is a natural reflex, but deliberately looking back again separates a random stare from an intentional signal. This diagram models mirroring. If you lean back and she does the exact same thing, it's an involuntary reaction to matching emotional energy. When connected, the brain naturally replicates physical behavior in real time, entirely below conscious thought. As that connection builds, it generates a nervous energy. That energy has to go somewhere, and it typically manifests in small grooming behaviors, playing with a necklace, adjusting her sleeves, or fixing hair. Now, sometimes fixing hair is simply annoying, but if these minor physical adjustments happen consistently while she is fully engaged in a conversation with you, it's a subconscious drive to appear more attractive in your presence. These visual pauses and physical synchronizations are the brain's involuntary way of establishing a baseline of emotional compatibility. Once that baseline is established, the interaction crosses the conversational barrier, and you will often notice a clear auditory shift. A girl might be loud, chaotic, and energetic with a group, but the moment she speaks directly to you, her tone changes. Biologically, her voice gets softer, slightly slower, and emotionally warmer. This natural adaptation happens to make the conversation feel more engaging and intimate. This radar graphic represents personal boundaries. We observe a physical breach through a comfort test, initiating unnecessary touch like fixing collars. This brief contact acts as a sensor, registering your physiological response to provide instant feedback on your mutual ease. If you react to this by freezing up or acting stiff, the progression halts. Remaining physically calm and relaxed allows the organic attraction to keep growing. Together, these vocal adaptations and physical boundary checks mark a definitive threshold. The interaction is actively moving from platonic friendliness toward intentional intimacy. The progression eventually moves beyond physical space and enters the cognitive realm. You might casually mention your dog's weird habit or a specific childhood snack, and weeks later, she brings it up effortlessly. When someone feels emotional attachment, their brain stops filtering out trivial information. Instead, it stores these minor facts as premium, emotionally sticky memory markers. This leads directly to the final indicator of the progression, entering her social circle's awareness before you ever actually meet her friends. If her friends know your hobbies, tease her when you walk in, or give you a knowing smile, it means you are a recurring topic in conversations you aren't even present for. When you occupy space in her memory and her social circle, the attraction has evolved into a consistent presence in her daily life. We can trace this entire sequence, starting from that isolated, lingering glance across a room, all the way to coordinated, deliberate physical touch. We see the clear escalation from matching body language and mirrored postures, straight to becoming a central fixture within her immediate friend group. This scatterplot shows how a single behavioral sign can look like random, chaotic noise, but when multiple data points start clustering together, they animate into a clear, unified pattern that you can actually trust. You can abandon the pressure of waiting for a loud, dramatic confession. The best strategy is to simply monitor these micro moments as they happen naturally. Because when you understand how these subconscious leaks operate, confusing interactions stop being a mystery. You're left with the underlying logic of human connection.